Welcome to Ask Sean, where I explore all sorts of questions about life, relationships, and being human. I'm Sean Slevin, a licensed professional counselor and a licensed marriage and family therapist. And if you have a question for me, you can send that to me anonymously at asksean.org. So this is another one of my kind of in process, like sort of life thoughts on the fly kind of thing. And as is often the case, this is tied to my work with horses. Maybe I'll have to relabel these as horse thoughts or something, or I don't know, things horses have taught me. But there's this principle that one of my trainers is really great about, which is keep riding through the mistakes. So if I'm coming down from if I'm doing a downward transition from a faster gait to a slower gait or whatever, and I'm kind of bungled that a bit, she'll be like, keep riding through it, or, any number of things like this. And then, kind of another application of this principle is, you've probably heard the phrase, get back on the horse. If you fall off, get back on the horse. If you fall off the bike, get back on the bike. This idea, though, in both cases is, I just think is such good advice. It's this invitation to stay with it and keep moving through it. The get back on the horse piece was literally appropriate today, as I had what I like to call an unplanned dismount. It's riding a horse is a little bit like dancing with a partner, and sometimes you can have two different ideas going on of what we're doing, and if somebody doesn't somehow clarify that, you can end up with situations where, like today, where my horse went one way and I went a different way, and that's problematic when I'm on his back and then I'm no longer on his back. I'm flying through the air. So as falls go, it was a pretty, I don't know, pretty mild fall. And if you've been following my videos, you know that I've gone through. I practice falling. I do training on how to fall just in general and how to handle equine related falls. And so I feel like my body did all the things that I would want it to do. I'm going to be sore, but there's nothing that I'm concerned about in terms of kind of lasting damage. I rolled through it really well and totally protected my back and my head and my beard. Don't get my beard dirty. But yeah, no, more seriously, I mean, it was a good fall. But it was near the end of my lesson, and a part of me is like, I'm tired. I could just go home. Like, it was, in this instance, there wasn't like, I feel hesitant to get back on the horse. Like, there wasn't a fear element. But it was just like, I knew we were about done. And, but my instructor, my trainer, she's wise. Go figure, right? And she encouraged me to, like, let's just do a lap or two. We won't try to do the thing that, resulted in me and my horse parting ways momentarily. But yeah, she referenced a principle which I'm very familiar with in other ways, but I wasn't thinking about at the moment, which was just that it would be good for the muscles that are going to be bruised because of how I took my impact. It'd be good for them to move. It'd be good to get on and ride and move them. And so it is kind of an extension of this, like, keep riding through the mistake, right? Get back on the horse, keep riding through the mistake, which I think was a really good, really good counsel. And I'm here on this. I mean, I probably won't be posting this video for several days because I won't have time to add the little, kind of thing that goes at the end, and upload it. But on the day that I'm recording this, I've got full evening of clients after this, and so I'm very much going to be attentive to, like, standing up and moving my body, moving my legs, moving anything that is sore, Probably do some kettlebell swings because I love those and they're just great for everything. And trying to keep things from getting stiff, help things keep moving through, keep moving through. Um, so how does this relate to the rest of life, though, right? I mean, that's I'm always kind of making these applications, right, from the physical, tangible to how does this work itself out, symbolically, psychologically, spiritually, relationally, all that kind of thing. And so I think about like there was something recently where a friend of mine, I had facilitated an opportunity for them, and I didn't when I did it. It was just something came up where I could like basically like put their name in a hat to potentially win an opportunity. And so it's not like I you know did a huge effort per se, but I was thinking of them and I knew this was something that would bless them. And but I also didn't know if they would be ready for it. It might be too big of a bite. So it was just like, well, I'm just gonna try, and if they get this, then we'll see what happens. Maybe it's within reach, or maybe it's it's too much, and they don't do it. So the thing came up, and it came up recently, that they were not up for doing it, and I could tell by how they texted me that like there was probably some shame about this. They were feeling bad and feeling like worried they had disappointed me, let me down, or something, and so thinking about this principle of like keep riding through the mistakes, like it felt important to me to make a point to circle back with them in person, not to pick on them or any kind of anything like that. Like I get it. Like there's plenty of things that would be too big a bite for me. Even though there's things that now are not too big of a bite because I've worked at them, right? And like worked my way up to being able to do certain things. We all have an edge, right, of where our current ability is, and beyond that, it's things are out of reach. But it felt important to circle back. One, because I wanted to be sure that my friend and I were good, and so I wanted to do that in person, right? But also, it's like kind of this principle of keep riding through and sort of work the muscle, like work the muscles that have maybe been bruised. Like I wanted to give them a chance to kind of sort of face some of that shame, to get to do that in relationship, experience that it's okay, we're okay, like I'm okay with them, that I get it. And so I asked some direct questions, like not in a mean way, very gentle, but I kind of went in for like where I knew it would be a bit tender, and just invited them to speak to that, and for us to get to talk a bit together, as friends. And I think it was really constructive. I think it was really good for them. It was good for me to hear their heart and hear their struggle and have a sense of, okay, so this is some of where you're at. Like that was part of it. I wanted to understand, like, oh, so what part of this was hard, or like where did things kind of not work. And because I want to respect where they're at. So I wanted to, have a feel for that. But I also knew that talking about it would be good for them, even though hard and uncomfortable, right? But I think by doing this, thinking about the muscle analogy, it helps reduce the chances of there being scar tissue, right? Because like we're working that muscle out. And in this case, we're doing that in relationship, which I think is often the case. We have to do these things in relationship. So I don't know. I'm just thinking about that principle of that you kind of keep riding through mistakes, keep living through them, right? Get back on the horse, keep working out the muscles that have been bruised. All these variations on this kind of sort of variations on a theme, on the same idea, and I don't know. It just feels like some useful principles, good life principles. Just some food for thought, some equine related wisdom from today. So, well, until next time, peace be with you.